Hi, I'm Jennifer. Welcome to our fast track lesson on iVECoder. This tutorial is designed so you can jump right in using iVECoder's AI, or as a tool to conduct your own research. Prior to delving into the learning content, allow me to acquaint you with the framework of this fast track course. There are 4 sections, each utilizing real-world scenarios to illustrate iVECoder's functionality. As a prerequisite to the last section, we'll start off with a quick setup. You can view this as kind of a quick action tip. Next, we dive right into iVECoder's comprehensive AI. Then, we will embark on an extensive research journey and engage in a problem-solving exercise while navigating through the menu system. Lastly, in order to nurture usage ideas, I will demonstrate how our software can be used as a valuable contracting tool. For this session, we're going to use the Madison, Wisconsin and Chicago, Illinois as area settings for pricing. My default is already for Wisconsin. If you wish to follow along, go to Settings and change your Gypsy location to Chicago and bookmark it. Bookmarking allows you to quickly jump from city to city or area to area. Many PCG customers code across multiple states or Gypsy areas. For example, a coder in St. Louis may have to code for 3 different states: Missouri, Illinois, and Kentucky. We encourage you to follow along, so be prepared to pause this tutorial as needed since we will swiftly navigate through several topics. Now that we have our default set, let's start at the beginning and log into iVECoder. The VE in iVECoder stands for Virtual Examiner. VE is the AI engine which drives all of PCG's software applications. iVECoder has 2 modes, AI and Research. After you enter your credentials, iVECoder defaults to AI mode. As you can see, there is not much going on. It is basically an empty screen. Here, iVECoder is waiting for your input. Unlike other generic AI applications such as ChatGPT or Watson, iVECoder already knows this is about coding, so there is no need to formulate and type out questions. You simply enter codes and iVECoder's AI will handle the rest. The codes could be about an appeal to a denial, authorization request, code review, a billing inquiry, contract negotiation, etc. Let's take a look at the AI in action. I am going to enter a few codes. Next, to get an AI review, I simply click on Start AI. And boom! The AI responds instantaneously. Now the screen begins to make sense. The AI message container displays responses to the codes I had entered. Let's break down the AI responses. As you can see, iVECoder produces a summary of the codes it reviewed and paragraphs of information for each determination. The title of the response center indicates this is a professional review. By checking the OPPS flag, the response title would say facility and any AI determinations would be geared towards facility rules. Here is a quick example changing from professional to facility. Facility is shown here to demonstrate iVECoder's capabilities. There is a separate fast track covering setup and use. Uncheck to return to professional. Next are the base area and pricing defaults. These are the values we predefined earlier, which can easily change using your Gypsy bookmarks. Below our defaults is a quick summary listing of all your codes. Note that the AI will resort those in order of value and payment if any shown alongside. In this case, the codes are displayed in a different order than was entered. Also note the AI will automatically apply modifiers. Below the code list, any AI determinations are listed, and this is where the magic really starts. It is what iVECoder's AI is all about, and the quick result you're looking for. Every AI determination comes in the form of a paragraph. The content and size will vary depending on why the AI felt the need to inform you of an issue. It is essential the paragraph be read in its entirety. We'll look at a single determination and break it down. Each paragraph begins with an action event. The action changes depending on the type of determination. The code in question is listed along with a description. Then a reason for the action event is given. Be aware the action event reason can dramatically change. So be sure to read the whole AI response. Next, if there is a conflicting code, iVECoder shows the code and description. Here is a tip. Sometimes comparing code descriptions make conflicts self-explanatory. Depending on the situation, the AI may add to the determination additional information, warnings, or another actionable event. Usually, the paragraph ends with references. The text VE and corresponding number in braces indicate PCG's internal category for support purposes. If applicable, the final reference lists the typical CARC on a payors EOMB or RA. A quick word on true AI. Humans in machine learning AI applications are deep thinking entities. Deep thinkers do not return a single result. Non-AI systems are one and done. Meaning, once something is found, a non-AI application produces no new information and only issues a single determination. iVECoder, like a human, is a deep thinker and can produce multiple determinations on a single code. Determinations for procedure 76981 is a good example. There are many issues here. First, the AI found a conflict with another code. Second, even if payable, the AI is informing you that payment will be reduced. Third, the diagnosis reported is invalid. And finally, the staged procedure modifier is invalid for ultrasounds. Now that you have seen AI in action, let's address a common concern regarding intelligent systems. AI will never replace coders. Healthcare codes by nature are ambiguous. Consider modifier 59 with multiple meanings, undefined add-on codes or unlisted procedures requiring interpretation of supporting documentation. We could give thousands of examples. In order for you to make a well-informed decision, the best AI can do is assist the coder by providing comprehensive insight and advice. Suppressed information by one-and-done coding systems impairs your ability to make accurate judgments. In contrast, as we have shown, iVECoder's AI thinks its way through code analysis. We're going to wrap up iVECoder's AI mode overview by revisiting procedure 76981. This was on a real superbill generated by an EHR. Regrettably, this claim was submitted to one of PCG's health plan customers using Virtual Examiner, only to be promptly rejected. Now, a question for you. Pretend you work for this radiologist and this charge ticket or denial came across your desk. With your newfound awareness, how would you approach this radiology charge? We've only just scratched the surface with iVECoder's AI technology. Next, in fast-track fashion, we're going old school to perform manual research using iVECoder. This mode is similar to using traditional software, books, or even Google. You're provided with conventional access to code information similar to legacy applications. Before we do any research, we'll quickly cover iVECoder's menu options and arrangement. Clicking on code lists from the menu, you can pull up details on code sets. Select HitPicks to see a basic menu layout. All iVECoder's submenu selections will have the same basic design as shown here. On the left are submenu selections, and on the right a summary listing. The summary listing contains short descriptions similar to what you see in your EHR or billing system. From the search menu, you have the ability to search and filter underlying data. Let's search for 29882. Under the heading description, just like your coding tool or books, you will come across familiar code section information, complete with comprehensive and layman descriptors. Adjudication details provides code-specific rules a payer will use when processing claims for payment. The Related Codes menu contains cross-references and validations. Great! Now that we understand how raw data is presented, let's showcase iVECoder navigation using a practical example. I'll put my coding hat on and make believe I work for this radiology group. We're going to fix the example procedures we had used in iVECoder's AI mode. From the diagnosis list, we have a patient pregnant with complications. A radiologist has written reports for the ultrasounds, including the sonographers. We see there are multiple issues, and we can be fairly sure this claim will be completely or at least partially denied by the payer for the reasons shown. Right off the bat, I see a pattern. There are invalid diagnoses, and the AI has flagged all our procedures. I am going to confirm K74.01. Indeed, K7401 cannot be primary. What about K76 and O26? This can be primary. And O26.11 as well. Since the primary procedure is pregnancy-related, I will change the primary diagnosis to O26 and reassign the diagnosis pointer to just one. I will leave K76 as is and move the K74 manifestation diagnosis last. Now we restart the AI. There. That's much better. As we can see from the summary list, procedure 76802 is deniable. Reading iVECoder's determination, we see this is an add-on code. We need a primary procedure. This is easily found. Click on the magnifying glass, Related Codes, then Primary Code. 76801 is what we need. I am going to return to AI mode and review the EHR record. The radiologist documented into the EHR that he conducted a thorough examination to search for an additional fetus, and the outcome was negative. Surprisingly, the electronic health record assigned code 76802 for the term additional in the report. Upon conducting a brief review of the documentation, this discrepancy was indeed confirmed. The correct coding would be just for 76801. We'll make an adjustment to this claim and re-engage the AI. Another issue resolved. 76981 is still an issue and has multiple problems. Next, we will tackle a basic code rule and look at the VE message 182. This involves a bad modifier. We have two here, mod 26 and mod 58. To verify, we'll look this up. Mod 26 is in the list. I don't see 58. But what is mod 58? Ah, a staged procedure. Let's take a quick look at the chart notes regarding 76981. I see my radiologist did a detailed review for a specific organ. In this case, mod 58 is incorrectly applied by the EHR. What other options do we have? I'll search for a more appropriate modifier. Here I can set a filter for the word organ. Mod 59 could work, but we know 59s have a tendency to get audited. I'm pretty sure P6 would not work. I saw nothing in her chart to indicate organs were being removed. SF would work, but there is no documentation in the patient record indicating this was a second opinion or one was requested. This leaves modifier XS, which is applicable in this case. But I see XS is only reportable when a NCCIP to P primary code is present. The AI message tells us the conflicting code is 76700. I'll confirm this in iVECoder. Yes, 76700 is a valid primary according to NCCI. Because of this NCCI edit, iVECoder indicates a denial. I will replace the 58 with XS, change the DX pointer, and restart the AI. Good. 76981 went from a deny to append. As noted here, I will include EHR documentation to guarantee payment. The next message regarding 76981 is informational, and I do expect the health plan to reduce my reimbursement. This concludes Lesson 3. Using iVECoder's research capabilities, we have transformed a disputable bill into a valid claim. Key points to remember from this lesson section. App navigation is intuitive. Information is easily accessible. AI is your guide to research. On a final note, one can see how human error or the autocoding in an EHR can easily misinterpret provider notes. Data alone cannot always reveal the true nature of a submitted claim. And since AI cannot discern ambiguity, it is a human tool just like a hammer is for a carpenter. In this final lesson, we're going to teach you how to use VE's pricing capabilities. Once again, in order to simulate realistic use of iVECoder, we'll need to set the stage for this example. The scenario is as follows. We have a successful clinic across the Wisconsin border in the Chicago-Illinois area. A new plan is sending a provider relations rep to contract with us. We have to be strategically positioned and prepared. This means knowing our patient mix of commercial, CMS and/or Medicaid. We have benchmarked historical reimbursement rates and contract terms from comparable health plans and providers. Evaluated regulatory requirements. Updated our financial and operational budget which model the impact of new patients. We understand our leverage based on reputation, specialty, patient demand, distinctive services, and geographical coverage. A final but crucial point. We have a predefined baseline. When it comes to Medicare patients, you're tied to a specific fee schedule. Keep in mind, Medicare reimbursement at 100% only covers approximately 70% of a practice's overhead. Anything less than 100% of Medicare is obviously an unfavorable contract if your patient mix leans heavily towards Medicare. Whether in face-to-face negotiations or prepping for negotiation, we can begin evaluating reimbursement levels in real time. To begin, I will demonstrate the use of bookmarks. First, since I am starting a new analysis, I will clear the AI message container. Normally we would do several codes off our charge ticket, superbill, or the health plan's contract rate sheet. For this lesson example, I'll begin with a single E and M code by entering 99215 and start the AI. This is the payment for Madison, Wisconsin. Click on the bookmark icon to show quick picks. I will select rural Chicago since this is where our clinic is located. Restarting the AI shows the rural Chicago reimbursement. To get pricing details, we could go to code lists and bring up HCPCS and do a search, but clicking on the magnifying glass icon takes us directly to the code. Click on Financial Details to bring up our base CMS payment. The important numbers are in green. The highlighted section shows how iVECoder calculated the payment. Let's scroll down and explore reimbursement options and play with the numbers. In the Show CMS payment box, we get to recalculate pricing based on percentage. So, if CMS covers 70% of practice overhead, then we need to add 30% to create a break-even point. Click on the Calculate button to reveal updated figures. Take note that the original payment remains unchanged, while the adjusted payment box presents our new values. This is our baseline for 99215. If you're doing historical benchmarking, click on the button Last Year. To get prior years, Click on Pick Gypsy button and you will have the opportunity to select any year back to 2013. Let's do a hypothetical projection and estimate daily reimbursement if we saw 8 patients at this level in a single day. Now change back to 100% of Medicare and recalculate. Big difference. As my break-even point is 130%, I will begin negotiating at the average UCR of 180% plus 20. As the negotiation or analysis progresses, you have the opportunity to interact with real-time reimbursement data. All the while, of course, keeping an eye on our break-even point of 130%. If actively negotiating, a PC may not be convenient, so run iVECoder from your iPad or smartphone. One final lesson note. These techniques can be used when working as a non-contracted provider and the plan contacts you with an LOI or MOU. In addition, you can use iVECoder as input to model and calculate capitation profitability, carve-outs, pre-auths, or case rates. The team here at PCG decided to add an important bonus tip. That is, double-checking EOB remuneration. We know CMS's published claims payment error rate is 6.2%, which translates to $25.7 billion. The error rate is dramatically higher for Medicaid and CHIPs. On a commercial level, the average error rate for PCG customers prior to installing our virtual examiner product is approximately 15%. After VE was installed, our customers' error rate dropped to 1.2%. Since iVECoder uses the same AI engine as VE, you'll know what the payer knows. Regardless of commercial, ERISA, Medicare or Medicaid, it is worthwhile to end this tutorial on auditing insurance payers. Let's say I have a contract which pays at 120% of Medicare. It is January and the date of service was last December. The plan applied a modifier 51 to a surgery and reduced payment. Let's walk through the process. I'll search for the code 23031 and confirm this was reducible. It is. I'll go to financial details. Since the date of service was the previous year, I need to jump to last year. This is not an endoscopy, so surgical 51 modifiers generate a 50% reduction. My contract is for 120%, so I will price this bursa drain at 60%. Payments should match. If not, an appeal is in order. A few thoughts before we end. One of the primary objectives of PCGs is to ensure that you maintain HIPAA compliance and submit error-free claims. Additionally, we strive to help you gain a renewed comprehension of iVECoder's feature-rich capabilities and explore inventive methods of utilizing them to their full potential. As this fast-track lesson has demonstrated, iVECoder's AI thinks like a coder, acts like an auditor, and works like an instructor. This concludes our iVECoder Fast Track lesson. Thank you for participating, and I'll see you at the next lesson. Have a wonderful day.